Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of 3 Geeks Flix. This is the Tech flying solo on this episode. It is a trailer break, but really what I'm going to do with this one, folks, is I'm going to extremely break it down and really look at some of the Easter eggs on Ready Player One. Now, Steven Spielberg is directing the film adaptation. This was a book by Ernest Cline. It is a pop culture legend of its time, especially for people like me that grew up in the 80s, or anybody that grew up in the 80s and can appreciate a lot of its references to old video games, movies, music, and anything in between. Really where to start on this, it's hard to say. There's several things that, yes, I know they had to change as far as the book story to get it onto film, and I'm glad that Cline and Zach Penn got together and worked on that. Now, Spielberg already went out and said, look, I'm not going to put all my movies in this, though we have got to see the DeLorean, so there's one thing that he went ahead and left in there, which was pretty sweet, and it's awfully humble of him to do that, but he really doesn't want any of the focus to be on his work, or to feel like any of his work is kind of coming to the forward, to the front of everything else, so I can kind of see why they did that. But let's get down into it. If you've watched the trailer, seen the trailer, its music is awesome, and it takes a second maybe to hear it, but once you sit and really listen, the orchestral theme is none other than Willy Wonka's pure imagination. It's a little different, a little more grand, very epic feel to it, but it's just awesome. And the thing is that people have to understand is this book was inspired by Willy Wonka. Cline really took kind of some of that story from Willy Wonka and thought, well, what if I did it like this? And the thing is it centers around, James Halliday, the creator of the Oasis, as which you see Wade Watts, or Parzival, goes into during the trailer. He has a very eccentric feel like Willy Wonka. But as soon as, like you said, he puts on the headset, you go straight into where it looks like Parzival's walking in to the Distracted Globe, which is Ogden Morrow's birthday. Now, Ogden Morrow was the co-creator / co-owner of GSS, Gregarious Gaming Systems, or which became Gregarious Simulations. He had his birthday party there at the Distracted Globe, and walking out you can see Harley Quinn and Deathstroke, and one of the things that's really neat is they did capture the 0G of the dance club, and also to be noted and to remember, and hopefully they stuck with it, that's a PvP zone, so we'll see if what happened at the Distracted Globe in the book happens there. I have to warn you, I've probably read the book like 15 times, and it keeps getting better every single time I listen to it. Everybody couldn't have missed the Iron Giant walking up from behind Parzival and one other counterpart. I'm not sure who that is. I can see where they may be pulling him in or playing him into it all. I don't know. I can tell a lot of the story has changed a little bit. Another great snippet was what looked like he was coming up on a scorpion. It's centipede. And if you noticed all the ostriches coming at him, that's from Joust, which, kind of references and things taken from the book. Now, do they look like the 8-bit classic? No, but it's the Oasis. It's every video game and anything from any decade that's come and gone since now's real life fruition, so to speak. So it was pretty sweet to see all of that. Now, when you see all the robot-looking IOI people, IOI is Innovative Online Industries. They're the bad guys, and you can see all the six, the number starting with a 6. Those are the Sixers. They're referred to as the Sixers. All getting in the vehicles. If you look in those line of vehicles, whichever race is getting ready to go down or whatnot, you can see maybe one of the speed cars from Pole Position, old 8-bit game. You can see the A-Team van way in the back, and then if you look a little in front of the A-Team van, that looks like Christine. So, if you don't know what Christine is, you really need to brush up on your movies, especially Stephen King. Another Easter egg part of it, of course, is when there's that hulking figure that looks like he's taken from Gears of War, kind of in a way, but not. I mean, he's like a mashup of certain things. He's running up. He guns down Freddy Krueger's awesome. Duke Nukem's in the back. Looks like he's getting ready to shoot a rocket launcher at him. There's another figure coming up from the other side, and the hulking figure looks like he's firing what would be one of the assault rifles from Halo. So that's another awesome throwdown and nod. Too cool. And then we get to, I guess, kind of our first little glimpse at possibly Artemis. It's definitely a female riding Kaneda's bike from Akira. And somebody one time, I read on another website, that said that somebody was trying to say it looked like a light cycle. It's not a light cycle. That's Kaneda's bike from Akira. It's been verified. I double-checked it myself. So I'm in total agreement on that as well. Also, we had a couple of shots. One of the DeLorean coming in from backwards and going around some kind of statue. And then, of course, during the race where all the wrecking balls are flying around, you can see the DeLorean as well. That's Parzival's ride, or Wado and Watts, our main story hero we've got going on there. But I know I talked about music earlier. And one thing I wanted to mention, and it's a cool nod, especially for anybody that, of course, has read the book. James Halliday, the creator, he coded every game. It is said in the book that he coded every game, and even the Oasis, to Rush. Rush was his favorite band. And so when they're all getting in the vehicles there at kind of like the break, to hear Tom Sawyer go off was just like respect. That is respect for the story, respect for the book. I know Klein had to love that part of the trailer. I absolutely dug it. It definitely gave the feels. It's too freaking cool. I've only got a few more of these left. There's a QR code that shows up on those IOI vehicles, and if you stop and you get it, it'll take you to jointhequest.io. Now, IO, Innovative Online, and it doesn't have the other I, Industries. It's kind of cool that they did that .io. I don't know what they had to pay to do that. I don't know if it was anything extra. I didn't know if .io was already there and they just decided to throw it in. I really didn't do my homework on that. But it's kind of neat. It'll be neat to see what that website becomes over time, especially closer to launch in 2018. But take the time to check that out. There's not much to it. You can go to a Facebook or an Instagram or a Twitter page. Link from it down there below. And then finally, at the end, when Parzival, or Wade, pulls off his visor, there's another face in that visor that you can stop and see, and it very well looks like Ben Mendelsohn, who is none other than Nolan Sorrento, the lead egg-ologist, or he's the head guy in the oologist department, to which the thing is about this whole story is James Halliday's died. And he's left an Easter egg in the Oasis. And whoever finds it gains control of GSS, his company, that owns and controls the Oasis. And they get his $40-something billion inheritance, because he has no heirs or anything. So, kind of neat to sit there and see him pull off the visor and get that glimpse of Mendelsohn. I have an idea of what scene that is. It'll be awesome to see how they do that, and that they kept it in, that whole part. And then finally, my last one. And I know I'm like totally geeking out and going crazy here and talking really fast, but bear with me. There's a key. The crystal key is what it looks like. There's 3 keys: the copper, the jade, and the crystal key. And it looks like at the end they're putting the crystal key into the last gate. If you look on that key, you see what looks like 2 A's kind of put back to each other. What those 2 A's would mean to me is James Halliday's character on the Oasis, and like whenever he played D&D and anything, his name was Anorak. And so there was a book or like a compendium and everything put together by Halliday to go with the egg hunt called Anorak's Almanac, that kind of was like a guide to kind of help you with some of the hints and clues of where you could find keys and gates and just different things that he liked and things and how he felt about life and anything in between. So really, that's what I believe that AA stands for. Like I said, I've watched this movie. I've listened to this book. Sorry. I've listened to the book. I've read the book several times. It feels like I've watched this movie, but not quite. I know they've changed some things. So I'm ready. I'm geeked. I'm interested. At first, I kind of watched this. I was like, and then I stopped, and I really took some time, and I watched it over and over again, and I saw some of the Easter eggs, but then I also found that, a couple other places like Geek Tyrant. Those guys are awesome. Real big shout out to everybody at geektyrant.com. Enjoy the site, and I looked on theirs and saw that they had some of the similar things that I'd seen and more. And so I went back through and really watched it. But nobody had really said anything about the keys that I'd seen so far having the AA on it. So, go back through. If you don't think I'm right, that's fine. Whatever. Leave it down in the comments. Get involved. Holler at us. I really can't tell you how excited I am about it. And I've been talking over and over and over about the same thing, about how excited I am. So on that, check us out on Facebook, 3 Geeks Flix. Give us a like, comment, holler, troll us. You don't do Facebook? We've got Twitter. It's at the number 3 Geeks Flix. Flix is, of course, spelled F-L-I-X. Give us a follow there. Give us a holler there. Troll there. Get involved. You are the third geek, so get on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Give us a like. Leave us some comments. Let us know what you think. If there was something I missed in the trailer, please let me know in the comments below. Get involved. Let's make a conversation out of it. Really, really, folks, we want to hear from every single one of you all out there. Over 600, almost 700 subscribers. Every single one of you third geeks is appreciated. We love having every single one of y'all on with us on the show, watching, being that third geek, getting involved. I can't say it any more than I already have, and I'm rambling because the muse isn't here to ground me. So I tried to call him. He didn't answer. It happens more than I like to admit. But appreciate y'all sticking around, and stay tuned to the glow of those monitors, because we're going to catch you next time. Good night.